Bugs, birds, rats, and more. This video has early root mon galore. In case you're new, welcome to the Kelot region, my Fakemon region, based on Wales and the surrounding Celtic regions. Every region has mon designed for the early roots, even if they don't have early roots anymore. I commissioned JJ Mons for these first few lines, starting with the bug. Meet Tektot, Tektarj, and Tektitan, with their names coming from the word protect, as well as Tot, a diminutive, Tarj, a kind of spiky shield, and Titan, because Tektitan is the biggest one of the three. They're based on shield bugs, a common bug that can be found in Wales, named as such due to their shield-like shape, which I leaned into. They don't have a pupal cocoon stage for their life, but I felt like the opportunity is too perfect to make Tektarj look like a shield. Plus, some mon do take liberties. At least Tektot is a proper nymph. And Tektitan has spikes, to reference spiked shield bugs. The shiny also references brown shield bugs and bronze shield bugs. The line being green by default references green shield bugs, as well as being perfect shorthand for the bug type. This shield aesthetic made me want to lean into defense, but I didn't feel like steel was a necessary typing. I feel like bulky mon need more diversity than just steel types. And the mono bug type isn't that bad in theory. Plus, a 3-stage mono bug type is more unique. This line gets the new ability, Concentration, which boosts its special defense each time it is hit. So it's a special version of Stamina, which it also has. Its hidden ability is Stench, to reference how shield bugs are also known as stink bugs. It also kind of feels like a unique depiction of an armoured knight. That wasn't really part of the design origin, but it fits in a vibe a lot of the mon in this video will have, tying into medieval aesthetics and Arthurian legends. Speaking of, since these hypothetical games are called Pokémon Myth and Pokémon Legend, let's get some mythology up in here. Meet Forkite, based on the very real red kites. They are the national bird of Wales. To me it made sense to make it the regional bird. The name comes from foresight and kite, as in red kite. Currently it's just a juvenile bird, but it looks more like a red kite when it evolves into Interloft. This is where the inspiration of the Adarlucwin comes in. I am so sorry if I butchered that. As a Scotsman, I'm not a native Welsh speaker, but I am trying my best, and you have the spelling on screen. They are large, intelligent birds. To me, it made sense to combine them with the red kite. Also, their intelligence is why this line is psychic type. Forkite is only mono flying, since you get more intelligent over time, and it's just a baby who knows nothing. It isn't normal since I don't think it's necessary for regional birds, plus it wouldn't feel right putting it on something supernatural. The name comes from intelligent and lofty, meaning something that is high up. Interloft evolves into Gwyffin, which takes cues from griffins. This is because some consider the Adarlucwin related to the griffin. I have seen other griffin Fakemon, but I made sure I stuck to giving this design elements that I think would enhance it. I didn't want to focus on the line elements, since I don't think they were necessary for this design. Since it isn't a literal griffin, I wanted all 4 of its feet to be bird feet as a result. It has a third eye, to really show its psychic typing, and it has a streak of eyeliner, to look even edgier. I didn't want it looking too unfriendly, but considering someone employed them to kill King Arthur, only for him to be betrayed due to who they killed being the first person who entered on the battlefield, and Arthur got held up, I think at least making something edgy like Staraptor and Corviknight was the right call. The name comes from Adarlucwin, specifically the Gwyn part, as well as Griffin. Enjoying this video? Then why not like, comment, and subscribe? That would really help out, as would supporting me on Patreon or becoming a YouTube member. Becoming a member gives you access to the next video in this series, so become one today to see how it continues. Links to those and my community Discord server down below. Speaking of killing King Arthur, let's look to Cornwall for the second regional bird. Think the Spearow to Forkite's Pidgey. Crowman here is based on the red-billed Cho, a kind of crow defined by its red curved beak. It has a crown on its face to reference King Arthur. The name obviously comes from crow and omen. It just felt right. So why King Arthur? Well, in Cornish myth, it is said that when he died, King Arthur's soul was transferred to a red-billed Cho, which is one of the reasons that the evolution, Corvive, is a ghost type. Another is because some say the red colour in its bill symbolises the blood of the Cornish, specifically those that died in battle alongside King Arthur. This is why it is a symbol for the Cornish people. This connection with souls and blood made me think of the ghost type. Corvive's name comes from Corvid, the family that includes crows, including the red-billed Cho, but also Revive due to the whole soul transfer thing. I should mention that I gave it a weird evolution method. Crowman must defeat 5 Ghost-type Pokemon to evolve into Corvive. It simulates the battles that made up its backstory, involves spirits, i.e. Ghost-types, and feels like a reasonably challenging thing to do in the early game, but not so much in the late game. It was more unique than giving it a Duskstone anyways. For the last few mon, I commissioned my good friend and artist Astray. Early routes have at least one normal type line based on a mammal, with at least one of those being a 2-stage. Other normal type mammals may be shown in the future, but I'm only going to show one in this video, as that was designed to be an early route mon while the others weren't so much. The base stage of this line is Scoat, based on the Stoat, which is where its name comes from, but also the word coat. There is a clothing theme, due to the Stoat also being called the ermine. They're traditionally hunted for their winter coats, with the material also being called ermine. It's an ermine. Scoat is based on the brown summer coat though, since it made it look more distinct, referenced another facet of the animal, and gives a rags to riches theme, which the still mononormal type Furmin expands on. Its name comes from fur and ermine, since this is the main feature of the design. It's even modelled after a royal cloak, which tends to use ermine. The idea to focus on the fur was actually a pattern also called ermine, often found on ermine cloaks, typically worn by nobility, hence the riches part. You can see some on Furmin, and even its silhouette is shaped like an ermine patterning, so I guess it's an ermine! This line has the same abilities throughout. Unsurprisingly, one is Fur Coat, while the other is Keen Eye. Its hidden ability is Scrappy. Now, some of you may be wondering why it isn't dual-typed. The answer is because it doesn't need to be. Excluding variants, only 3 out of at least 12 early route normal types from the official series have a secondary type. I know experimenting can be fun and should be encouraged, but it isn't necessary. It should be noted that there are other ways to be unique. The Rattata line focused on its teeth. The Patrat line focused on its eyes, the Bunnelby line, ears, and even more abstractly, Zigzagoon and Wooloo being given new attributes based on the appearance of what they're based on. It was this thinking I went into the line with. If a secondary type really fit, I'd have given it to it, but mononormal was perfect in my opinion. Plus, if you want to see me make a dual type early normal mammal, I did that in my last region with the Hedgie line. Speaking of, I decided to give dark type variants to the Hedgie line. Since Hedro was dual type before, when the dark normal Kelotian Hedgie evolves into Kelotian Hedro, it becomes Dark Fairy. I know Paldea didn't continue the trope, but I didn't do it in Chronio, and I have a concept for this one, but more on that in another video. In the rivers of Kelot, you'll be able to find the region's Pika clone, Nutokawa, which is based on the Kopyu, also known as the Nutria. Although it is from South America, it can be found throughout the Celtic nations. Originally I found it when I was searching for rodents from Brittany, mainly because I felt like since the starters covered 3 of the 4 areas I was drawing inspiration from, the Pika clone should cover the other. The name comes from Nutoria, which is the word for nutria in Japanese. It's actually a case of garaigo, where Japanese borrowed words in a way that's kind of the reverse of when us English speakers spell and pronounce Japanese words in English. The name also comes from kawa, Japanese for river. The nutria lives in rivers and is semi-aquatic. Nutokawa is monoelectric, which is odd, given its habitat and blue accents to point to another type. You've got me. It evolves. Based on those hints, your Nutokawa evolves into a water dragon type. It makes sense, trust me. And tufts of fur resembling horns were meant to be your clue. Never trust me again! That's not a mixed message at all! Anyways, Nutokawa evolves into the electric dragon Nutoryu when exposed to a Dragon Stone, which is a new evolutionary stone I'm introducing to Kelot. I have a lot of dragon types. They need to evolve somehow. The name comes from Nutoria and Ryu, the latter meaning dragon. The dragon typing is because it is also based on the Japanese water deity of the Mizuchi, which has been referred to as a river god. It is a dragon. The typing potential, connection to myth, and the already existing concept made it too perfect not to do. This line has the ability Motor Drive, and its hidden ability is one I made for my previous Fakemon region, called Hydropower. It's essentially Motor Drive, but instead of electric moves triggering it, it's water moves. What did you think of these mon? Would you add any of these to your team? Leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure to check out JJmons and an artist Astray, as well as Pokemachi, who did the item art for the Dragonstone. And I'll see you next time.